Today, I wanted to talk about one of the outcomes of investing. Most of us in investing are judged by what outcomes we generate. Today, I am very popular because of most of predictions I made for people who follow me on particularly stock pickings have made some money for them. The opposite could also be true. On another day, another week, the outcomes could turn very bad and the results would be very bad, and then I could be very equally unpopular. The idea is the world measures outcomes and does not look at the quality of decision making. Unfortunately, in reality in world, most of us ignore the role of luck. Recently, I have been looking at a book written by Annie Duke, one of the great poker players of all time. What she was trying to point out is the disconnect between the quality of decisions we make and the outcomes we get, and how the world and the media judge us only by the outcomes and not look at some of the decision making we do. There are possibility of 4 quadrants in real life. You make an outstanding decision based on context, based on looking at all facts that are available to you at that time, and the outcome is brilliant. Then the whole world says you are the greatest. The second we make a lousy decision, the outcome is still extraordinary, and the world thinks you are really great. The third quadrant is make a lousy decision, and yet you turn out to be extraordinary, and still the world thinks you are loved, you are great. And finally, you make a bad decision and you get a bad outcome. This is just rewards because the decision making was poor and the rewards were also poor. In life is not like chess, where the quality of decision gives you a certainty of outcome. If you are following all the rules on the traffic and still you can have an accident, you can follow the traffic rules, you can be well below the speed, you can drive safely on the side of the road, but a maniac can come opposite side of the road and bang you. You can jump traffic lines, you can overspeed, you can be dangerous on driving on the wrong side of the road, overtaking, and still arrive safely. The first one is a case of making excellent, prudent decisions and still having poor outcomes. In the other case, you make all sorts of wrong decisions but get brilliant outcome. What is this got to do with the way the world behaves and in the investing world? Let's take a look. Welcome back to Be Rich. One of the biggest decisions I have made in my life, which hurts me even till today, where the loss I made was certainly bearable for me, was buying a stock called Syntex. The decision on Syntex could be made into two parts. Originally, I bought it at an extraordinarily low price, and then the promoters had a overseas ECB loan, and they repaid it promptly, and the price went up from 20 rupees to 90 rupees. And then I sold out. Again, they got into debt problems, and they added up rights issue, and the price dropped back. Then they separated the company. They promised to separate the company into two. The belief was most of the loans that were taken for building the new textile mills would go into the textile mills, and the plastic division would be healthy. Based on that and my previous experience, I did punt on buying Syntex again. Normal course of business would have meant that the plastic business would only bear the loans that was related to that business, and the cost of putting up the textile mill would go into the textile mills. What I ignored was the antecedents of the promoters believing that the brand was stronger than the promoters, because there was news at that time that the promoters had bought a private jet on the company's expense in Singapore, and the company and the promoters had gone on a business buying spree across the world. There was a long delay in splitting the company into two and delisting it. Unexpectedly, what happened is the loans were equally divided between the textile company and the tank company, and making the company making plastic tanks and other automations. So, what finally the burden of loan could not be taken by the tank company. Not only did the textile company sink, along the way, even the along the way, even the tank company, which had a very powerful brand, where entire India associated a water tank with Syntex, like Xerox became the de facto copier. Such was the power of the brand. But because the loans were too much, that company sunk. But even after the company was listed and split, in the initial euphoria, the stocks rallied back to 100, where some of my family position was sold, but a minor position was still held on to me, thinking that the strength of the brand would overcome the wrong decision making of the promoters. And I watched that stock go from 90 to sub 10 in front of my eyes, watching it and hoping against hope that it would turn on. I have made similar mistake in a company called IVRCL, which was betting on infrastructure and was doing very well at one stage, till a point when they were so heavily leveraged that markets started punishing companies with debt, and the infrastructure company, which built much of India's roads and built a lot of irrigation projects in Andhra Pradesh, has since vanished without a trace on the bank of huge debt it took. If you had asked me in 2014 when I wrote the book, I did know that based on Reliance infrastructure and the bad bet in Syntex, that we weren't indebted companies were in trouble, and therefore Reliance infrastructure was in trouble. But I didn't know at that time for sure even a company on the size of Reliance infrastructure could go bankrupt and Anil Ambani himself would become bankrupt. Based on all the available facts at me, the decision I made in Syntex was right. But what was wrong was the unknown bias of the promoter and his way he would spend his money. So, a proper decision in Syntex had a terrible outcome, which meant my decision making was scarred for some time. This can happen to the best of people. I have explained to you what happened to me, but this has happened to Warren also and will happen to all investors. The only question is, how soon can you get out of it? The moral of the story is that however big you may be, however mighty you are, if you have an unsustainable debt, you are finished. The mighty Tatas escaped because of TCS. Otherwise, in these 12 years before Tata Steel recovered, there was many a close call even for the mighty Tatas in Tata Steel and Tata Motors. Thank you for watching. Be rich. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification. If you use Kindle, you can buy the book using the Kindle link given below. If you want a hard copy, send a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would get in touch with you. At the very end, if you want to get in touch with me, please send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. I am grateful for your support of Be Rich.